God will ever break us free from any of these transactions, it will be by God raising something. Are we together? Are we together? And that is why last week we stopped at a place and we said that how God begins to bring men out of captivity. It is that God begins to do what? Raise sons. God begins to trigger men. In the midst of captivity, God begins to what? Trigger men. And the essence of the trigger is that they can begin to initiate their freedom. Bible said, Lord commanded his love to us that even when we were yet sinner, his son came and what? Died. God did not wait for die before he saved us. In the midst of captivity, God still. I have seen this that throughout scripture, there is always a strategy of God. And the strategy is that each time his people go into captivity, God does not leave them without a hope. He always tells them, we want visit you again. Based on this commitment of visiting again, God takes responsibility for their freedom. And because of his justice system, he cannot just come and say, oh yeah, let them go. Even though he's a just, he himself begin to initiate their freedom by putting the burden of freedom in the hands of men. He will begin to stir up the hearts of men to be restless. He begins to stir up the hearts of men to be unsatisfied. Burden is not what you create. Every burden is sponsored by a spirit. Every fleshly burden you create dies early. But when the spirit creates a burden, the burden does not die until the spirit is satisfied. And that's why he said, quicken us, we may call upon thee. Men can't call until God quickens them. And then I want to ask you, why will God quicken men? It is because it is through the calling men that God comes to their activities. God cannot deliver a man without them calling. He said, draw near to me and I will draw near to you. God can never deliver a generation if there is not a people to God. Are we together? Because some of us will be wondering, why did you come from that family that is so much demonic? And yet, you came from a very bad family that has a wrong foundation. God has begun to stir up your spirit, man. Amongst everybody, they begin to call you pastor in the family. Because of, you just grew up and others are living a bad life. You too maybe started living a bad life. But every time you try to live bad, something gravitates you to God. You want to go outside the confines of God. Something draws you to God. You don't know why those things are happening. It is God that is stirring up men. That's the mystery of the firstborn. Because it's the firstborn that becomes. It is the firstborn that pays the price for others. And in this kingdom, firstbornhood is not by biological birth. First, this kingdom is not by biological birth. You may have elder ones, or even you sitting down here, you may have ones that has been rovering around your family. If you think you are the firstborn that will make God choose you, you don't know that the criteria of God choosing men is not by biological birth. He said, Jacob have I loved, Esau I hate. Some of us are not even firstborn biologically. We are senior ones. But God, by mercy, founded us as an instrument. And in case you don't know, your place is a variable. Change you if you don't want to. So God looks for a firstborn in every family. It is by the firstborn he wins. And the